My name is Marissa. I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer when I was 29 years old. There were a few surgeries that I went through. I had a golf ball sized tumor in my right breast, so they scheduled a lumpectomy to have it removed. I was told in recovery from my surgery that it was cancer. My oncologist wanted to do a mastectomy. I wanted to see what my other options were. They said that we could try doing chemo. Hopefully that would shrink and get rid of most of the cancer because the lumpectomy had gotten most of it out. And I opted for that decision. I started 6 rounds of chemo, and after the chemo was done, I had another lumpectomy to determine if any cancer was still around, and it was all gone, but the doctor wanted to do just precautionary efforts and still do radiation. So then I did 6 weeks of radiation, and throughout the process there were a few difficult times that I had. Obviously the day of my diagnosis was very traumatic, and the day before I was supposed to start my chemo, you go to the hospital and the nurse tells you about all the side effects of the chemo. The main side effect is infertility, and that was a very difficult day because that's the only thing I've ever wanted to do is have children. To be told that I might not be able to have children and that the chemo will destroy the cancer but also destroy my reproductive system was very hard for me. I wanted to see if I could harvest my eggs, and unfortunately that was not an option, and that day was also difficult. Another day that was very difficult for me was 2 weeks to the day after I started chemo, my hair started to fall out. So I went to the salon and got it cut, and it was about chin length. It was alright because it still wasn't real yet. I'd had really long hair like down to my middle of my back, and a few days later it started to fall out in clumps, and it was time to shave my head. My mom and my sisters came and we shaved my head, and we were all making jokes about what was happening, and when they were done, I got up and went and looked in the mirror and I burst into tears, and that was very rough just because it was real at that point. I had cancer and there was no way to hide it anymore. I currently am in remission. I have been out of treatment almost 2 years. The biggest way that cancer has changed my perspective for the better is the fact that things don't worry me as much. Before I was diagnosed, I was kind of a worrywart, and things don't bother me anymore. You know, I try to look at the situation like glass half full. I'm a pretty positive person. I'm a pretty happy person. If anything, it's changed for the better, and the fact that I'm not out there saying woe is me, you know, about stupid little things. I'm alive, and I got through my treatment, and it was hell, but I made it through on the other side, and your perspective totally changes once you go through something like that. I think it has to change for the better. I have definitely become a more positive and more happy person. If I met somebody that was at the stage that they had just been diagnosed, the best advice that I could give them is surround yourself with people that are important in your life. The people that are important in your life and are important to you and you are important to them, they will be there. Let them know, hey, you know, if I want to talk about it, I want to talk about it, and if not, don't bring it up, you know. And there's going to be hard days and there's going to be easy days, and if you have somebody that you can go to and say, I'm having a really day, and they're there for you, it's going to be so beneficial. Another piece of advice I would give you is to not go on the internet and Google everything, because it just makes things a million times worse because nobody has the same situation as you. You could go out there and read something that has nothing to do with you, and it's going to put that fear in you. That's not something extra that you need to add onto your problems. You know, if you have the ability, find a support group, find a community that you can talk to, do whatever you can. If you can't do that while you're going through treatment, after you've gone through treatment, it's so beneficial to find an outlet to go and talk about issues that you're having, and stuff that you feel and stuff that you're not sure about will definitely help you. Being a part of the Pink Elephant Posse has been an amazing experience. Just being able to go out and have a fun little day of getting your makeup done, your hair done, and getting photographed. It just makes you feel really awesome about yourself. You may have this idea of what you look like after you're done with treatment, because maybe you're not who you were before you started all of your treatments and stuff, but Being a part of Pink Elephant Posse is definitely something that makes you just feel really good about yourself, and you want to like share that with everybody. When I'm not talking about cancer, I like to have fun. I like to go out and go dancing and go to the bars and hang out with the boyfriend and hang out with the sisters and hang out with the friends and go to movies and read and basically do, you know, everything that you're supposed to be doing while you're living life. Yeah, everything. My goals after I was diagnosed, they didn't really change, you know, like I've always wanted to be married, have a family, work, and I still have those same goals, and you know, have a good life and travel and go on vacations and have as much fun as possible. And I think I didn't really make that a huge priority before, to make sure that you don't look back on life and say, you know, I should have done more things. And so that's what I'm definitely doing now, is, you know, not having any regrets about anything and just making sure that I'm having fun. My name is Marissa and I'm a pink elephant.